Hello, in this video I'll talk to Dr. Canaan from SMA Behavioral. Dear Dr. Canaan, my story is this. I went for marriage counseling and got labeled bipolar. I thought to myself back then, my friend gets $500 a month for being bipolar. So I applied for the Social Security and got denied the first time. So I told the spouse and my mother that I'm not taking any pills. The spouse and my mother said that if I didn't go through with this, then they would Baker Act me again and throw me out of the house. So here's what happened. I really get along with my son. So I obeyed them without taking the pills. But the spouse couldn't get days off to go to the doctor with me, and I would not go alone. Because what happens if you're mentally insane, then you're not allowed to do things for yourself, such as make a doctor's appointment, go see the doctor on your own. You got to take someone that takes charge of you. All right? So I am reporting this to you so that you can see how hostile my family is, and so that other people can learn from my mistake of several of them. One, getting married and going to marriage counseling, which didn't work because the problem was the wife and Daniel. Hang on. Let me make this video, all right? Let me make this video. Let me make this video, please. What page are you on? Oh my goodness. 259 and chapter 34. Very good, sir. All right. Let me finish the video, all right, real quick. All right, so my mistake was getting married and going to marriage counseling, which the marriage counseling didn't work because the problem was the wife and Daniel was the problem. The wife and Daniel, not just Daniel. All right. Another topic. I don't work because the spouse does not even listen to me, and she does everything by herself. She watches garbage novellas instead of playing with her kids. If this is at night when she comes home from work. But then again, we had $100,000, and the spouse would not listen to me. So of course it got spent in the first minivan, the house, and so on. And the spouse still does not sit down to talk. She watches garbage novellas instead of playing with her kids. If you think I am insane, then I ask you to go work as a substitute in a high school. And you will be angered at the misbehavior of the kids and the pretend educational environment. They have a building that's called a school. They have teachers, they have students, but learning is not happening. Those kids are wasting their time in there because it is not a learning environment. Dr. Canaan, I think you can be a better doctor if you don't force your patients to take pills. You refused to see me because I told you that I was not going to take the pills. And the first time I saw you was with my mother. And I was living with my mother. I'm not able to tell you things in front of her because, well, she already did it one time. She Baker acted me one time by telling a lie. And my mother is very, very intelligent. She wrote things down and had my spouse sign these things. All right. So, and then you tell me I'm not going to see you again. Well, when will I tell you my story? All right. After my second incarceration, the second time I got Baker acted, I just stay in my room, which now I have been given this closet, all right? I don't bother the spouse by cutting the TV wires or by standing in front of her TV blocking her novellas, which is what I used to do before. I also send crackers and cheese to my mother so that she won't incarcerate me, and I spend less than 60 seconds in my mother's company. If I spend a little bit more time, it's only because she's a very dangerous person, and sometimes I have to spend time with her, like when I take her to crackers and then I start eating my soup. I don't even finish my soup. And then I don't even say, excuse me, I just smile and get out of there because it's dangerous to be near my mother. All right, this technique works. Rosa has been angry, but she has not harmed me at all. Since I don't smile much at all now, since the second time I got incarcerated, the spouse gives me great sex now. I'm very pleased with that. My daughter sees that my son and I are exercising, and she joins us sometimes. Push-ups, sit-ups. She's starting to exercise. With my daughter, I just say good morning, and I stay away from her the rest of the day. I don't expect much from my daughter because she's disappointed that I don't buy her anything because I don't have any money. But then I tell her, daughter, I don't buy you anything because when I was a kid, my grandfather and my mother, your grandmother, they used to buy everything for me. And now I am 41 years old. I'm walking around in the streets asking for people to give me $1 so that I could buy the human rights passport, the world citizen passport. All right? All right. Now, Dr. Canaan, I am happy because I choose to be happy, and God has loaned me a son that reads with me. So that's what my family is like. All right. You can, you will, you must. Have a pleasant day. Everyone out there, do not go see doctors because they really don't help out. And for the Social Security program, the disability check, the spouse got a lawyer, then I canceled him. Then they Baker acted me, I believe, the second time because I had canceled this lawyer. Or that is, I am disobeying the women, my mother and the spouse. All right, so what can I do now? The only thing I can do is stay here until my son is big enough to defend himself. He knows he has to be in this room. Most of the time he is in here with me. I mean, right now the girls are not here because otherwise the girls, they want to clean the house and they want to bother us, or they're making fun of him, his sister and things. So I keep my poise, no smile, breathe in, breathe out. Just today my son was crying. He had been reading this book, right? He had been reading this book, and then my mother and his sister, grandma and sister, said something that made him upset, throw something to the floor. Instantly I got up, I went to the kitchen or the dining table, and I said, please sir, come with me. Please sir, come with me. And he came with me, and he came in here and started to cry on my pillows, and I started to read to him. About 5 pages later, he finally got into the story, and everything worked out all right. He cannot be with these women. And what's interesting is that in this book, Percy Jackson is not able to destroy some beasts or some animal, some being that is attacking him, and he cuts them up, but then he gets pain every time he cuts them up. So I told him, well, I haven't told him yet, but son, this is the same thing here. If you punch your sister or you break her things or you get back at her in any way, you are the one that's going to receive double the pain. Because the youngest person to get Baker acted is only 7 years old, and all he did was run around the kindergarten classroom or the classroom and stepped on the teacher's foot. So I gotta protect my son. Alright, feel free to write back to me or video me back, Dr. Canaan. Talk to you later. I'll sign something that says you can make this public. I mean, my life is pretty much public. Because my mother was so secretive when I grew up with her. And she would tell people something, and I knew that she was lying. So my life is public. Talk to you later. You can, you will, you must. Read The Power of Concentration by Duman, free at LibriVox.org.